All right, welcome everyone to episode 22 of Our Parents' Basement, a podcast that is pretty damn good. I'm still waking up, everyone. Still have to pardon my lack of wit right now, but we're so glad you can join us on this Sunday afternoon. Great to have you along. Usually we broadcast on Thursdays, but today we have a special Sunday episode for y'all. So let's just get right into it. And I'm Cashel, and this afternoon I am joined by three of my very favorite people. First, we have Charles. He's here, also known as Mr. Nikon.
What's up?
Glad to have you. You seem a little busy, so we'll make this work. We also have Jason. Sometimes he goes by Turf. He's here too.
Hello, guys.
Glad to have you. And last but not least, we also have Zach Z. Sometimes Zach for short, and he's here as well.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Glad to have you as well. So, this will be the last show for the month of August, and as is tradition at OPB, we are going to discuss what we have found in our travels when it comes to game hunting. We're all gamers. We like to buy games. It's just what we do. And, we're just going to share with one another what we discovered. So let's see, who will we start with? All right, Turf. I saw you raise a hand. So
yeah, I will go ahead and go first because in the month of August, I bought not a damn thing. This is probably the only month in the last decade I have not bought anything game related. We've got Retropalooza coming up, so I've been saving my change, saving my scraps because I'll be going little bananas there. So I have not bought a thing.
No, nothing wrong with that. Save your money, because, Retropalooza is going to be fun, and it's going to be really spendy as well. So, well, moving along then, I think we're going to follow a theme here. Mr. Nikon, how was your month of August?
Same thing.
That's
Not bought anything.
He's pinching his pennies. So we will break the theme. Zach C., how about you?
Alright, I actually got a pretty good amount of stuff.
Good, save it. Save us.
Alright. You know what? Let me just real quick. There we go. Mute an icon there for a little. Because making a lot of noise back there. Anyways. I picked up these two games and honestly at the store I paid way too much. Double Dragon and Legend of Zelda Oracle Seasons.
Okay, you probably paid $30 for the pair.
No, more.
Really?
Yeah.
41.
About.
See? I was right.
Well, that was probably, what, 25 and 15?
Excuse me.
18 and whatever left over.
Oh, really? So Oracle of Seasons was actually less than Double Dragon?
No, it was more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it...
Oh, okay, so 18 and 22. There we go.
Yeah, I went to this new store. I was coming back from Atlantic City, decided to check it out. And where the prices, honestly, for a lot of the games were ridiculous. I mean, like one of them, Luigi's Mansion, they were selling for $40.
Oh, grief. Good grief.
Yeah, and where just a whole bunch of games I saw there in the 40s, even 50s. And it's just so bad because it's such a great selection there.
Well, if you don't sell anything, you're going to have a lot of stuff to show off.
Yeah. But, yeah, I thought that these two were actually around market value, but there was just so much there, it was hard for me to just be flipping through my phone trying to actually figure out what everything is. I figured that those two were probably safe, but they weren't.
Well, that's not too bad.
I basically paid double.
Dragon.
Ha!
I thought it was funny. I don't know.
You were getting two dragons for it, so that was a little high for Double Dragon, but Oracle of Ages, that's a $20, $25 game, so you didn't do too bad on it.
Actually, it's not.
Oh, is it not?
I checked earlier on price charting. It was around 12.
Oh, wow.
Is price charting always accurate, though?
No.
And that's what I thought. Like, I'll see games for like $30 in the store, and then according to price charting, they're like 12. I think price charting is what when you sell games back to stores, that's what they go off of when you get your credit.
No,
that's what I think.
No, they basically go off of eBay and Amazon what those are currently going for, and they're actually apparently selling through the site now.
Yeah, they've got an algorithm that it gets an aggregate of price charting, or excuse me, of Amazon, eBay, and half.com.
And
Yeah.
also GameStop.
Oh, it uses GameStop too?
On the newer games, yeah.
Okay. Well, so they get an aggregate of that, and just whatever the algorithm does, some kind of voodoo, and it comes up with a number. So it's usually, I mean, it's pretty close usually, but I mean, a lot of times it will be on the low end. Seems like.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I also got 2 Xbox One games, Rise of the Tomb Raider and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
How's the Ninja Turtle game?
From what I played of it, I enjoyed it. Been really enjoying the Tomb Raider a lot recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Also, just picked this up yesterday, Ghostbusters for the 360. The actual one that you want.
Yeah, that's the one. They should have made a movie out of that one. That's Ghostbusters 3 right there in your hand.
Yeah. And you know what? It was $4. I made out with this one. That made up for my mistake with the other two.
Make out with you for getting that.
Yeah, tongue. Jesus.
Right. Also got a disc to complete my Luigi's Mansion. So I got that game now.
Geez, someone's been busy.
That's a fun game too. Luigi's Mansion's a blast.
Yeah. And these 4 pretty much paid with store credit. Nintendo Preview Disc, which has demos for Sonic Adventure, Beautiful Joe, Splinter Cell, and Billy Hatcher and Giant Egg.
Beautiful Joe is underrated. That is an absolutely underrated game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Pac-Man World 2 was Pac-Man Versus.
That's a little sought after, you know. That Pac-Man Versus is
Yeah,
a dandy to pick. It's a fun game.
it's created by Shigeru Miyamoto, out of all people. Which is why actually Mario's voice is in it. If you did not know that.
Did not know that. Maybe that's why it's sought after.
Picked up also Robotech Battlecry.
Mm-hmm.
It's an alright game, what I've played of it so far.
What kind of game is that?
It's basically like it's part air combat, part mech combat.
All right, so but it's like
It's very
like-
average.
very average. Okay.
And finally, speaking of Beautiful Joe, got Beautiful Joe
Yeah,
2.
the sequel. Awesome.
And now I got all the Beautiful Joe games on the GameCube.
Man, you were busy this month. You were man about town and buying stuff and Atlantic City and jeez.
GameCube games, as far as that generation.
Yeah, GameCube games especially.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, as far as PlayStation 2 and Xbox, I'd say the GameCube games have definitely aged the best. You know, over the last 15 years or so, since the GameCube came out, or that generation came out.
Yeah, and the price is definitely
still very playable.
Yeah, and the prices definitely support that.
It is a little bit more pricey, but yeah, I myself like the GameCube games more. They seem like the controls still hold up, the graphics still, that cartoony style that they used didn't age as bad. So that's once again just my opinion, but I really think the GameCube games, everybody was down on the GameCube at the time, but you know now it's the one everybody wants. So
yeah,
that's a good little system. I like it. Yeah. So, anything else?
That's all.
Wow. Well,
if that all is that all.
Yeah, I was to say.
Jeez, you can do better than
Just
that.
a few hundred, you know. Just that's all. Yeah, I didn't pick up much either because I'm trying to save for Retropalooza as well as other trips in the future. But I did finally pick up a copy of Final Fantasy X. It's one of the few games in the series that I have not played, or well, I played it, just didn't get very far in it. Kind of thought it was kind of silly, but you know, it was cheap, so why not? So I picked that up, and I got a few other things not really worth mentioning, because like Turf and Mr. Nikon. I want to save those coins for the coming for next month. Wow, it's coming soon. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
So,
the last or the last day of next month.
yeah,
So we're just
be here
right at a
before you
month
know it.
away.
Yeah, buddy. So cool. Well, thanks for sharing all of the nothing most of you guys got, and thank you, Zaxi, for sharing what you did get. But now we can.
Otherwise, there would have been nothing.
Well, yeah. Otherwise, exactly. What kind of gamers are we? But yeah, we're going to move on to our main topic for the afternoon. This is something a friend of mine suggested to me, so thank you, Seth, for the idea. This is we're going to talk about gamification, and according to this definition I found on the internet, which is never wrong, gamification is the application of game design elements and game principles in non-game contexts. So in other words, it's used for things like training and simulators for teaching, learning, things like that. This has really taken off and become really more popular with Pokemon Go. I mean, people are getting out there and moving and exercising and interacting with one another, which is pretty cool. But before that, obviously, there were lots of implementation of this idea of gamification. So I thought it'd be interesting for all of us to kind of share our experience with it, talk about it, some of our favorite moments with this idea, and if you have a game that you have in your possession that kind of follows the principles of it, share that as well. So how should we? Let's see here. Okay, I know. Turf, you are an engineer by day, dancer by night. So for your training, did you have to do any simulators or any computer
Well, the
classes?
only thing that we really did, we did have when I was in college. So in our computer, the engineering computer lab, we had our own. The college had its own little computer lab where we go study and stuff like that. Some of the computers had a small, it was a bridge building game, and it kind of made you think about how weight was distributed across across a bridge. You know, you had a certain load coming across, and you had to quickly build a bridge. You know, pretty much just stick figures. There was no materials or anything like that. You know, you didn't have to decide steel or wood or what kind of footings or anything like that. But you just you had to quickly build a bridge. You know, with kind of popsicle sticks and make it stand up. And it kind of made you think how weight was distributed, different types of bridges you could build, you could use, whether it'd be like an overhead truss bridge, or if you wanted to use like a continuous span bridge. So I mean, things like that. We took things from the classroom, just general ideas, and applied them to this game. And it when you did it, it made you think. It made you realize, like, if they had like trains and they had trucks, and because like a train has a bunch of little wheels, truck has 6 wheels, so I mean there's more load on that per axle.
Cool.
So you had to, for different situations, you could see what was coming, and you had to build a bridge to match it. So it's something like cool that we used to. It was fun for us because, well, but there wasn't any other games. But we it was something to do, and it made you think.
Cool. Zaxi, what about you? Anything in your scholastic studies?
I mean, we had all those educational games growing up. All like the Rita Rabbits, the Bear, voiced by Howie Mandel.
I think those count for this. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it had you learning addition, subtraction, all that stuff.
Oh, like Number Munchers? Did you play that?
Nope.
Oh,
what about Math Blaster? Did you play Math Blaster?
Maybe.
Yeah, you didn't live unless you played Math Blaster.
I won Game of the Year.
In like 1984. Actually, I want to say there's a Math Blaster all the way up on maybe Xbox.
Is it really? It's still going on?
I don't know if it's still going on, but I think maybe around Xbox, maybe it may have been on Wii. I don't know. Yeah, there may, but I mean, like, as far as those edutainment, is that what they call edutainment? Those definitely, I think, fit into gamification because they're taking something that normally isn't fun and trying to make it fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about you know, they're not games, but a lot of the stuff that they offer, they try to, I don't know, improve, what's it here? Oh, here we go. Improve user engagement, organizational productivity, flow, learning, evaluation, things like that. It's just stuff that you wouldn't really think about in your traditional video games. So I think it's a really neat idea. I think it'd be awesome just for more places, especially like technical colleges, to implement it because I think a lot of people learn better when they're actually doing like the hands-on thing. They're not, flipping through a textbook. They're actually interacting with stuff. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and where other than that stuff that I mentioned, Nintendogs, my sister was really into that. I would kind of consider that one of those types of games because you're pretty much taking care of a virtual dog.
You're learning virtual responsibility.
Yeah. And honestly, I'll admit I got into Pokemon Go, so even
oh, that's good. That's a
even
good
bought an
thing.
external for it.
Damn, dedication. Um, a lot of the gamification type games, what I like is that you can just learn so much. Before we went live, we were going through a list of this series. I think it's from Ubisoft. Let me see. Yep, all about these like they're basically like these my whatever coach games.
Yeah,
So
didn't those pretty much start off as a Brain Age ripoff?
did Brain Age come first?
I'm pretty sure they did.
Oh,
I think,
because I forgot about Brain Age. Whereas this series, I still think about.
well, that's because I think they're still trying to release titles for that series.
Okay, interesting. Yeah,
Hey, just going back to the Math Blaster, it was on the DS, and
was it
there
really?
you can still go to mathblaster.com and sign up and play games there.
Mm.
There's a free advertising for some education.
As someone who loves to learn Japanese, I found there was a My Japanese coach. I got this years and years ago. Is it better than a textbook or a classroom? No. But I did learn a lot from it. It's a good place to start, at least, for those who are interested in learning a new language. And I know there's one for French, Spanish, Italian, German. It's like Muzzy, only on your DS. So that's something. I think that's pretty interesting that they have those sorts of things.
And those My Coach games, I mean, you could fill in the blank anywhere. They had French, Spanish, Japanese, German. They had My Word Coach. They had My Weight Loss Coach, My Healthy Cooking Coach, my Quit Smoking Coach. Just anything that you thought you needed to do better in your life, there was a coach for it.
How would the mice not? Would the my quit smoking? I want to quit smoking coach work. How is it? What do you? How would it work? I wonder.
I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
I would assume that it gave you point. You put in how many times you smoked today, and maybe I don't know. I don't know.
Yep.
Who knows?
We may never know.
It would step you down, give you points for it. But that's kind of the thing. They take these menial tasks and things that you normally wouldn't apply to games, and they just slap some points on it, and it gives people a goal. And a lot of these things, like learning the goal of learning Japanese would be like, hey, I want to be able to speak Japanese or write Japanese or understand Japanese. But when you add a point system to it, you have smaller goals instead of just the goal of being like, yes, I want to understand this many words today. You get to like, oh, I'm to level 7, I'm to level 8, and you trying to score points, you unintentionally kind of learn things. Does that make any sense?
Oh, absolutely. It definitely does. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. For certain tasks, I don't think there's a substitute for an actual teacher or interacting with other students or things like that. But as for in this case, as a supplement, I think it's perfect. So.
Well, and I mean, it's not going to be a substitution. There's no substitution. There's like immersing yourself in it. I learned more Spanish spending a few days in Mexico than I did from 2 years of Spanish class in high school. Just by trying to talk to people it was at a resort, so they had to humor me because I was one of those asshole Americans that was trying to Hey,
Yeah.
Tequila Blanco. I was that guy. But
Yeah, pretty much
Hey.
the only thing I remember is no hablo español.
there you go. I did learn that one. Un poco español.
A little
It-
Spanish.
they humored me. There was a few of them that thought I was, the drunk hillbilly is hilarious. Ha ha. So they had fun with me, or at least they pretended to because they got paid to. So I didn't feel
Sure.
too bad about it. But immersion, just being in something like that, you'll learn more about it. But kind of trial by fire type thing, you learn quicker. But this is definitely a good supplement, for trying, or a good place to start anyhow.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's so much possibility for this for people who want to get into the working world. I don't know, like plumbing, becoming an electrician, becoming a carpenter, all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's apprenticeships and technical colleges, but for learning more, I think I just see so much possibility with this. Does everyone agree? Like,
Oh, without a doubt. There's especially people that are coming up. Just generations have changed.
hmm
Our parents more were just like, hey, you went to work, you learned your job. It started changing with us. Like, yeah, we need to kind of be distracted and make things more leisurely. Now the people that are coming into the workforce 10, 15 years after the two of us and Zach's people that are like 3 years younger than him. But
Millennials.
they need to be, or they learn more by making a game out of it. So that's there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that at all. It's just a new way that people's brains work, or they're a new way that they are productive. So, and we need to, I think, adapt with the times.
Yeah, and not everyone learns the same way. So, like, one student's not going to learn the exact same way as a student next to him or her, and this is a great way to get that other person a better shot at being just as productive once they leave the classroom setting. So, I think there's just so much potential for this, and it's just a really unique idea. But
And there's a lot more than just learning to this gamification idea. You can put it towards research. I was doing a little bit of just reading up on this before the show about different examples of gamification that because you automatically think about the things that they've turned into a game, like the My Coach series, or
mhm.
there was an app in 2010, I believe, called Folded. What it was is the Mason
Fold
Pfizer
it? Never heard of it.
Mason Pfizer monkey virus,
Yep.
which it was an AIDS-causing virus.
Yeah.
It's an AIDS-causing virus, and scientists were trying to decipher the crystal structure of this virus.
Mhm.
Well, the University of Arkansas, University of Washington's Center for Game Science collaborated with the biochemistry department and created Folded, an online puzzle video game about protein folding. They
I remember this when it first came out.
they had about 250,000 people sign up and start playing this game that they had put actual information into, and this is like a protein or a virus that they had been studying for 15 years, trying to decipher the structure.
Yeah.
It took 10 days because
They worked faster than a supercomputer.
because you had so many people that had turned it into a game for them, and they were solving little bits at a time, and they solved a problem that, like, supercomputers are having problem solving, just as a group of minds coming together. So just by turning that into a game, there's huge scientific breakthroughs. So that's yeah, I mean that's incredible.
I never heard this before.
More
This is
things
so
like
cool.
that will happen in the future. I don't know if it'll be as newsworthy. I guess is something that's going to help maybe cure the AIDS virus or something like that. I don't know, but just things that are real problems that we may, or maybe it'd be like mapping the genome or solving the atomic bomb or something. There's no telling what kind of
Free energy.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna figure out, free energy just by crowdsourcing it. And instead of people putting their money into it, they're gonna put brain power to it in their spare time. Steve's sitting on the toilet playing his little game on his phone, and he's curing cancer. So it's a pretty impressive idea that they could even make a game out of that. That was really, really kind of mind blowing.
Yeah, a game where you can cure cancer and drop the kids off at the pool.
There you go.
Yeah, because when you think about it, most people, yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. Most people usually have some sort of screen in front of their face, whether or not they realize it. And the phone, like with smartphones being so popular, usually everyone has some sort of device in front of their face, so that can somehow be used for something productive. That would be great.
Oh,
Possibilities really are endless.
Exactly, and something like this, you've got that screen in front of your face. You don't even realize you're doing something productive, but they're putting, because of the way this was built, they're putting human brain power to work in a mass and solving real problems. I thought that was really, really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Another good example of gamification that's not, just rewards programs. Just like, like you're gonna go buy or shop at a certain company,
Mm-hmm.
and they make games out of the rewards programs. And it makes, as far as marketing goes, it makes people want to shop there more. Well, I can get more Kroger points if I just go ahead and buy that here and spend an extra couple of pennies. I can get I can get cheaper gas later on just by using my Kroger card or using whatever card to do. So that was another pretty neat example I thought of, that you don't realize you're kind of playing a game, but you are. You're
I never thought of it that way either. That's interesting.
You decide to shop here just so you can get more points. So it's just, the marketing to that is genius.
I do it even when I search the internet. I don't use Google. I use Bing, because when you search with Bing, you get points, and those points have gotten me so many Amazon gift cards. Like, it's wonderful. I didn't even put the two together. That's a really great way of looking at that.
I used to do that, but I wasn't getting anything for doing it. I don't know. I'd never accumulated enough points, I guess.
Wow.
Did that much searching, even though I was instead of actually typing in like Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff, I would just type it into Bing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember getting that many points for it.
I've been doing this for when did I start doing this? Maybe like 4 years ago. Whenever they started this points thing, and yeah, I thought, it's silly. But you know what? I search the internet anyway. Might as well get rewarded for it. Doing stuff which you normally do on the daily and getting some sort of perk as a result. I think that's, when you think about it, that's a really unique idea. So.
Well, I guess another good example of gamification, and you've seen it on Facebook, you've seen it wherever, is that Nike Plus app. Nike had made a game out of running, which I don't know many people that actually enjoy running, and if they do, I think there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
It's a means to an end. You want to be in shape, so you run. It's not like, run, I'm bored, I got 15 minutes, I'm just going to go run. Those people are mentally ill. So
Agreed. Yeah.
But because cardio is not fun. So that's another good example of gamification that that they've taken another menial task, something that is not really fun, especially not for me, and turn it into a game.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives you more reason to do it, or more enthusiasm to do it, I guess.
You just brought up another good point, like Fitbits and those jawbone bracelets. Those are so popular now, and when you kind of think about it, they're kind of playing a game on their bracelet. They're keeping track of their steps, they're keeping track of how long they sleep, they're keeping track of their calories, all this stuff, which I think is great for health and fitness especially. So again, because you have some piece of modern technology strapped around your wrist and the shiny lights and the interaction, you're more inclined to do those important tasks. You're more inclined to walk the extra steps and take the stairs instead of the elevator, and or park further away than you usually would. Little things like that.
Right. It's you're taking something that you normally wouldn't think of and turn it into a game. Just keeping track of those different stats. You want to get a high score for the day.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's really interesting that a lot of these things, until we started discussing this afternoon, I didn't really consider them part of the gamification idea, but they kind of are.
Yeah. Well, there's one of them that I really liked,
Yeah.
and it's like it goes with the Nike Plus fitness stuff. It's an iPhone app called Zombies Run. So on your phone, you're running from zombies. I
Nice.
thought that was pretty awesome. You're making a game out of it's Pokemon Go for the Walking Dead fans, I guess.
When did this come out? This is the first time I've heard of it.
I just saw it on a website. I don't know if it's recent or not.
Well, I don't like the idea of having your phone in your hand and running, because in case you trip, your phone's probably going to go down with you, and you know how fragile those things are. But again, a really cool idea.
Well, I don't, because I don't have an Apple.
Well, I mean, I'm sure
Even any phone, I would be scared of anything getting dropped. So,
And okay, well, kind of getting away from that. There's another one that's been super successful, and it was
yeah.
I think about probably Xbox type time, mid 2000s. The U.S. Army came out with the U.S. Army games, and they were straight up recruitment tools. They used
Wait, really? Like, so let's back
there's
up.
a game on the Xbox called I think it's America's Army or something like that. It
Don't
was
say.
published by the United States Army, and like it was just to it may have been maybe Xbox 360, PS3. It was when like Call of Duty really started hitting big.
Okay, gotcha.
And well, you know what? We got to go ahead and get people interested in this, and they used it as a recruitment tool, and it was super successful.
I had no idea I'm learning so much this afternoon. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it was because it was shown off as I think it was a computer game first. It was shown off like a lot of these games are run and gun, and this was more strategic. It was more real,
Mm-hmm.
and it may have even been used as a training type deal too. But I never played it, so I'm just going by what I've read.
Uh-huh.
So it was the most most effective recruitment tool since Uncle Sam.
That's a good analogy. Yeah. And like all that over there fever and whatnot.
Yeah.
Do you guys consider like those flight simulators and those like the roller coaster tycoon and all those types of games? Do you consider that to be part of this idea?
I'll say Roller Coaster Tycoon or something like that. That's a game. That's just it's straight up. There's no benefit from it.
Some theme park type of deal. Yeah.
You could literally make a roller coaster that has it flanks the customers out of your area into another person's area, and where your people go up, but the amount of people who visit your park will go up, while the people who visit their park will go down. And where, even though you're the one sending them off, they're the ones that are getting destroyed due to the casualties at their park.
Oh,
I never
nice.
played it, so.
They're really fun games.
Are they?
I like them anyhow. I like to you get to be creative and build roller coasters that look like fun and stuff like that. So they are fun. So, but as far as like flight simulators, I would say that those maybe they're more of a tool. Mm-hmm. That's kind of dancing on a line, whether it's more of a straight up learning tool or if you're there because if there's goals involved, I'd say it would be gamification. But if there's no goals other than get back and land, then it may just be a learning tool that's cheaper than actually taking a plane out. You can let somebody that doesn't know how to fly this thing if he crashes it when it started.
Yeah, save a Cessna, play the flight simulator instead, type of thing.
But if I'm sure there's things like that are. I know the Microsoft flight simulators are sure enough, straight up and down flight simulators. You're learning how to fly for all practical purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say, yeah, that would definitely be a tool that could be used to teach you something, to make a game out of something that would normally just be a normal task.
I'm wondering, because I don't know any pilots personally, so I'm just wondering if anyone actually knows of somebody who's had to use this in like their flight school or their flight training. So It'll be interesting to look into that.
I know a guy that he's a pilot he's a helicopter pilot for the Navy,
Oh, cool.
and they use simulators before they'd let him get in a helicopter because helicopters aren't cheap, is what he said.
I kind of get
They
it.
don't they don't necessarily have like goals. Like if you had something like that and added, you've got to go to so and so many feet and in a certain amount of time, and you're trying to make a game out of it, which you get a bunch of people together, you're going to make a game out of everything. It's especially you get a bunch of guys together, it's going to be a game. It's gonna be, oh, well, you did that. Well, I did it in half the time, and I came back down, within 7 feet. Well, I can do it in 6 feet. So, just that
Like
would
the
happen.
high score idea.
Yeah, and if you get a bunch of guys together, there, especially like 18, 19, 20-year-old guys, you get them together and do something, there's going to be a competition involved. I mean, there's going to be some people beating on their chest, and that's just how people are, how guys are. Somebody's going to have an index card taped to the outside of the thing with the best scores on it or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really cool. I never knew that there was one for helicopters too, but I guess it makes sense. I always just thought like flying the Boeings and the little puddle jumpers were exclusive for that. So man, I have learned so much in just a short amount of time. I just think that, and with virtual reality starting to become kind of popular again, there's going to be even more aspects of this idea thrown
I think
in.
there'll be more aspects of it, and it'll be more available.
More what?
It'll be more available because
yeah.
virtual reality is definitely cheaper. You can get a $100 or $150 virtual reality headset for your phone. So
You could get a $15 virtual reality set for your phone.
the Google Cardboard.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I mean it's out there. It's real. It's coming. So I think there'll be a lot more applications for things that are that are there. So
Yeah, I'm just currently waiting for the IKEA simulator that actually has the furniture fall apart, like it actually does.
the IKEA simulator.
I know there was one.
You get a box of stuff and have to put it together.
Oh, I hate that store so very much. Ugh. Anyways, anything else to add to this topic, gentlemen?
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's a good point of gamification.
Yeah.
Where we all met, bgcollect.com. Whether they meant to or not, they have gamification set in there.
Oh yeah, they have the
edits.
achievements.
You get badges for
Oh yeah, I forgot about
edits or we used to. They don't really happen anymore, but there was at one time a gamification set up in that website just so if you edited stuff and added things to the database, fixed problems on the database, if you had so many edits, you got a badge. You added so many things to your collection, you got a badge. That's a gamification right there. Working
sign
towards
into the app on your Droid phone, you got a badge. That's one
Hey,
too.
yeah, I've got that badge.
I'm here.
Yep, I have it as well. Look at all that.
Yeah, I got
There
Pro.
was another kind of gamification inside of a game is achievements in video games.
Oh yeah, trophies. And,
Something that's not even really part of the game, but it's a game in itself. So I mean, it's kind of the trophies and the achievements for starting, I guess, PS3, Xbox 360.
doesn't Steam have them too? What are those called?
Steam does have them.
Yeah,
They do? Okay.
and
I
we're
don't touch Steam.
you've had a couple of Nintendo games where it had like built-in achievements to the game.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 3, that comes to mind. And what I liked about those was that you could take the points and buy stuff in the game.
So that's neat. You can put them to use.
So you could pretty much buy like a little Mario bobblehead doll and put it on the dashboard of Samus's ship if you wanted to.
That's a party. I need a spaceship with a Mario bobblehead. Just
we need a Metro game in general these days.
Federation Force just came out.
Oh, what's this? Oh, did not know that.
I've actually been hearing really good things about that, so
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. And remember, folks, VGCollect.com is also a great place where you can catalog and itemize your collection of games and games accessories. That's VGCollect.com. Ding! And that's also where we all met, as Turf mentioned. So, anything else for this topic, my friends?
I'm good, man.
You
There's
good?
there's just a
Anything to
lot
add,
of things
Zach?
out there that are gamification that you don't that you're playing a game and you're getting something else done.
Mm-hmm. It's yep, and I said it before. There really is like so much potential for this, and I'm excited to see where it leads. Like with more people coming into like the work world, hopefully they have just as just like methods of training are just as diverse as the new people coming in to the new workforce. So
Yeah.
much potential.
And where I think just one thing to say kind of like as an end is this isn't a new thing. It's been around for quite a while. I mean, Donkey Kong Junior Math.
I never even heard of that.
That was a
That's
thing.
that's cool. Alrighty. Well, I want to thank everyone for taking time out of their busy weekends to join me this afternoon. Mr. Nikon had to abruptly depart, but he'll be back, and so will we next Thursday. And remember, you can. Are we still doing our normal sign-offs? I think we are, just for this one time. Turf, where can we listen to this again? Sorry,
Well, I'll
to put
tell
on
you
the
what,
spot.
you can find all of our episodes on YouTube. You can check us out where if you're watching this on YouTube, I think they're over there. Maybe it's backwards. They might be over here. I'm not sure. They're on the right-hand side of your screen. You can find more of our episodes. You can find us all on ourparentsbasement.com. You can listen to the to the audio-only version on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. You can also hit us up on Twitter at OPB Podcast, Facebook.com/OPB Podcast. You can send us an email. I'll give you 3 guesses where to send it. At OPB Podcast. Wait, no. OPB Podcast at gmail.com. There we go.
Damn it, I was going to say Yahoo.
At what's one of the old ones? At AOL.com.
Yeah, Netscape.
At CenturyLink.com. Anyways, no, Gmail. Gmail is where our OPB Podcast mail goes to. So there's all those. Interact with us. Hit us up sometime. Give us a topic you might want to hear these handsome gentlemen ramble about.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Well, everyone, thanks again. This was really interesting, really enlightening, and as usual, really, really fun. So be sure to tune in next Thursday, where we will all be back at our usual time, usual place, and with some fun new stuff to talk about. So until then, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.
Deuces.
Later.
Peace.